Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, because we know people are joining us from different parts of the world for this webinar today. My name is Pradeep Nayak. I'm at the University of Waterloo. I'm also representing here the V2B, the Vulnerability to Viability Global Partnership for building strong small-scale fisheries. I'll be hosting and facilitating this webinar today. So I would start with a few rounds of introductions before we get to the talk and listen to the talk. So just as a way of introduction to the Vulnerability to Viability Global Partnership, which is a transdisciplinary research, knowledge, and action network with over 100 members from Africa, Asia, Canada, and internationally. The goal of this partnership is to support small-scale fisheries in their transition from vulnerability to viability. And the way we understand vulnerability and viability is not just in the economic sense, but also to represent all aspects of small-scale fishers' lives and livelihoods. That includes the political, the ecological, environmental, cultural, and all other aspects. Our focus here is multi-directional. We are working to co-create and co-produce the knowledge that is essential for the transition from B2B. We're also trying to create repositories or databases that can hold this information or the knowledge that can be shared later on and can be used by multiple stakeholders in the work of transition. We are developing multifaceted capacity, which we call transdisciplinary capacity, across all levels. We are also synthesizing and integrating the knowledge that can be helpful not only in practice, but also in making policies and building theories around transitions from vulnerability to viability. Of course, a big part of our work is to mobilize the knowledge that is being developed so that it is useful in the real world. The V2B Global Partnership aims to identify the diverse factors and conditions contributing to the vulnerability of small-scale fisheries and engage collaboratively with the small-scale fisher communities and other key civil society, NGO, government, and university partners to enhance small-scale fisheries viability. We are conducting transdisciplinary, community-engaged, policy-driven research in 6 countries of Africa that includes Ghana, Malawi, Nigeria, Senegal, South Africa, Tanzania, and 6 countries in Asia that includes Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, and Thailand. In doing so, the V2B Global Partnership brings people and organizations together across physical, cultural, and disciplinary boundaries through a shared interest in addressing global change impacts on small-scale fisheries. The B2B thematic webinar series, for which we have gathered virtually here today, is an initiative of the B2B Global Partnership to facilitate and generate high-level discussions on vulnerability and viability themes and topics within the context of small-scale fisheries. The goal is to feature academics, government representatives, practitioners, and members of the civil society who have made significant contributions to the theoretical, practical, and policy aspects of small-scale fisheries, both locally, regionally, and globally. B2B thematic webinar series takes place on the last Friday of every month, and it will continue to be so throughout the year in 2025. The series is available internationally through live streaming on YouTube. Details regarding the monthly webinars, including speakers, topics, and titles, and links to the webinar platform is available on our webpage, which is www.b2bglobalpartnership.org. Today's webinar is the 5th in the series of V2B thematic webinars planned for the year 2025 and the 53rd since January 2021 when it started. And it is my privilege today to introduce Dr. Inda Susilovati as our distinguished speaker today. but Inda is also joined by three other scholars who are Drs. Hapsari Ayu Kusuma Vardhani, Dr. Aini Furoida, and Miss Ika Susiati. They're all part of the University of Diponegoro in Semarang, Indonesia. Dr. Inda Susilowati is a professor at the Faculty of Economics and Business, Diponegoro University, which is known as UNDIP, Semarang, Indonesia. She specializes in resource and environmental economics, coastal resources management, community development, and then gender empowerment, with specific focus on small-scale fisheries and coastal communities. Dr. Susilowati has previously served as head of the Undip Research Institute and is currently a member of the university's academic senate. Since 2005, Professor Susilowati has served as an expert for the Indonesian Ministry of Research in Technology and Higher Education. She also consults for local governments and regional institutions on sustainability and development of coastal resources, including small-scale fisheries as a core area of attention. Dr. Susilowati is a counselor of the Asian Fisheries Society, AFS, and she has recently been elected for a second term, 2025 and 2028, to the AFS Council. She is also a member of the International Institute of Fisheries Economics and Trade, IIFET. At all of these forums and beyond, Professor Susilowati has played a key role in the Gender in Aquaculture and Fisheries initiatives, supporting student and early career researcher participation and serving on GAF and AFS executive committees. Dr. Hapsari Ayu Kusuma Vardhani is a lecturer in the Department of Economics at the University of Diponegoro. She has recently completed her PhD with focus on the topic of governance of tourism in the Karimunjawa Island, Indonesia, with specific reference to small-scale fisheries. Dr. Aini Furida has recently completed her PhD on transitions towards blue justice, livelihoods of local communities in Karimunjawa, Indonesia. A lot of the talk that you are going to listen to today is based on the work of Aini, but also Hapsari and Ika. Ms. Ika Susiati is a PhD candidate at UNDIP, undertaking research on the strategies for the use of information and communication technology to increase the income of small-scale fisheries in Pati and Demak districts of Central Java. I'm really proud also to mention that Dr. Susilowati is a co-investigator of the B2B Global Partnership and a country coordinator of Indonesia. Dr. Kusuma Vardhani and Dr. Furioda and Ms. Susiati are all part of the B2B Global Partnership in various capacities. It is my honor, therefore, to invite Dr. Susilowati and colleagues to deliver today's talk for the B2B thematic webinar series May 2025. And the topic of today's talk is understanding the linkages between blue economy, blue growth, and blue justice for transitions towards viability. Over to you, Dr. Susilowati, who will be speaking mostly, but at the question answer session, other colleagues would join in who are present on the Zoom. Thank you very much. And over to you, Inda.
Thank you very much, Pratip. Hello, very good morning, and also good afternoon and good evening. We are in a global now. So my name is Inda Susilowati from Diponegoro University, Indonesia. Very pleasure to see you here in the webinar with the topic today is my great day because Professor Pratip give me a chance to present my work. So let me share my PowerPoint. Is it okay now? Everybody can see my PowerPoint? All right. So, greeting from Semarang, Indonesia. We live
Inda,
in
can you make it full screen, please?
all right. Okay. So, thank you very much, Professor Pratip, for a very wonderful chance to meet here everyone from V2V family as well as to the audience here. So, we will share something from Indonesia with the title of Understanding the Linkage between Blue Economy, Blue Growth, and Blue Justice for Transition toward the Viability, a case study in Indonesia. So, high appreciation to the director of V2V Global Partner, Professor Pratip Nayak, and also all the members of V2V here from Asia, Africa, Canada, USA, and the others. And my great appreciation also to the audience, especially for the senior as well as early career researcher as well as a student. So here is a nice topic. I believe that to those who have not been in Indonesia, I will show that here the yellow one is a map of Indonesia. We have a very huge of countries with a population like about 284.4 million people, which is quite big numbers because we have 17,500 island almost in Indonesia. And to those who have not been in Indonesia, maybe you can see Bali or hear Bali. So Bali is a nice place to see and show in a map here, Bali. So Central Java is the next of Bali Island. We can reach Bali from Central Java with a 1 hour flight. So this is in a map. I put a star for my study area, which is here is in Demak in Central Java here, and also Pati. So both of this area is with the fisheries community and also with the small scale and also large scale. Here is the situation of Demak. We have the profile of both with a small scale in a nature because Demak is the transition of a migratory people fisher from East Java to West Java and then drop by in Central Java in Demak. So most of the people there fish small scale fisher. And comparing to the Pati, so Pati is in a north east of Semarang. We have about 2 hour drive with the conventional road because we don't have a toll road for Pati. And but of course, you can have enjoy when you are exploring to Semarang, especially in the north coast of Java. And Demak more closer to Semarang, only about 30 minutes if no jam, but traffic jam and heavy traffic because in Demak and Semarang, in a certain time, we have a high tide. So this is the feature of our two study area. And here we realize that since we have about 285 million people, and we have about 2.8 million of households That's in a small scaler. So Indonesia, usually we have in average, we can say that 60% of the fishing household is a small scaler. And this is composed by almost more than half of people of Indonesia live in Java. The highly densely populated island, although we have 17,500 island, but the main island occupied by people is in Java. We have another island like Sumatra as well as Borneo and Celebes, but people mostly live in Java. Of course, with the very populated and also the resource also limited, then we can imagine that the resource competition people are very tight. So here we have a job and also economic growth and so on. That's depending on almost in fisheries, because fisheries is open access. So everyone are those who have not a job will come to the fisheries sectors. But the problem now is we have, although we have a blue economy, and here we can say that the economic of Indonesia at this moment a little bit slow down because of a political situation, and now many of unemployment goes to the fisheries as well. So this is become worsen the situation in a certain area which is overexploited in resources. There is a challenge, of course, but we have to curb that situation. And with the True Fee2Fee project, and then we are the researcher are eager to try to find, say, problem solving, especially for the small scaler. And we have several case study in Indonesia. And today we present for the case study in Central Java, which is nearby Karimun Java, Demak, and also Pati. Let me go to the focus of this discussion. The need for transition for the blue economy to blue growth and blue justice. We have to talk the link of three point: blue economic, blue growth, and blue justice. And here we can say that the initial focus is how to utilize the potential resource, fisheries and ocean, for economic growth and job creation and poverty reduction. However, of course, the challenge is quite a temptation, and especially for today, the economic growth, due to the turbulency and also global political, like US situation and with the tariff and so on. But internally, the situation in Indonesia, especially for the marine resources, the fisheries resources, also, almost many of the point in the area are overexploited. And this is caused the environmentally degradation, as well as with some of them, the people, especially for the small scaler, are in situation of inequality. So the blue growth is going to promote for the economic. However, there is a dilemma in a blue growth, which is compared with several area in the status of resource, which is there is overexploited, and the resource is still okay. Since now in using the ICT technology, And then this is become a problem again. So there is a sword with a double edge. So ICT become a challenge and also become a problem subject to the resource status as of now. Well, we try to find how is the transition from blue economics to blue growth and then to blue justice. I'm saying here blue justice as defined by Nathan, which is in a blue growth, we have externalities, positive and also negative externalities. And we can find out the negative externalities reveal to be there is injustice in a blue resource. So I will bring you to the situation of the study area to be more real and I can explain with the several phenomena there. So we're talking about the Pati comparing with the Demak. In a Pati, we have the characteristic of large scale and small scale are together in the same area. So of course, we noted there is environmental degradation as well as economic marginalization between a small and a large scale. And also, of course, the resources in access loss for the small scaler due to the large scaler more active there. I will show you after this. And also, I pointed out from the identification, the governance gap. The government of Indonesia may not capable to manage in terms of for the formal enforcement and compliance because of very huge for the resource and also the lack of legal protection. That situation also similarly comes to the Demak. However, in Demak with a special characteristic, there is a situation on reclamation of the coastal area because in Demak we have mangrove forests and now the mangrove forest by local people initiated to be encouraged by also the government for the economic growth with inducement in tourism activities. So, of course, there is justice and injustice there because people benefited in some, but the other may lose. So let me explain. This is the concept of blue economic, blue growth, and blue justice. This is the area we already got carried out for the recognition survey. So we did survey in a Pati, which is Pati here. Is my picture enough seen because look small, but I think you can see that the identification of the blue economic here, we identified the activities used that utilize the resources from the fisheries and also from the ocean. So this is the blue one. My cursor, can see the cursor here? The blue line here is a river, the Juana River. This Juana River, since a long time ago, perhaps maybe 100 years ago, it already exists. This is the Juana River. Last time, the trader also come here. Arabic from India and Gujarat come to this river. And this is why until now, this river utilized by people here for the large scale and also small scaler of a fisher here, the resident is somewhere here in Juana, in a little bit inland, and then going to the sea. So we identified there is blue economic from capture fisheries, which is large and small. And also we have a point here is fish processing. Here the fish processing, and also there is a fish pond with the symbol here, fish pond, and also a fish auction somewhere here because the fisher come from the sea and then landing and auction the catch here. The fish auction quite big because this consider top two or top three in Java. So in a Pati, the fish landing here in Juana is quite big. And we identified the blue growth, the symbol of the growth with the mushroom. We select two growth here with a big mushroom too. Namely, you can see from a fish auction. This is the fish auction. The half of diagonal in a blue growth with the symbol of a mushroom. This is a fish auction. And also the capture fisheries here. And we talk about the blue growth. Whenever there is a growth, so must be externalities will be exist there. The positive and negative externalities will be happen there, and we identified in discussing the blue justice, we identified the externalities of negative and also positive from fish auction. So the growth that we pointed out here, one is from fish auction. So we have externalities, positive and negative, which is cause, blue justice, and blue injustice. So among others, for the injustice due to fish auction activities, among others are the dominance of middlemen can weaken the position of fisher in the market. So this is the role of middlemen. Cows may not favorable for the small scaler because the benefit will be goes to the middleman more rather than the small scale fisher. And the other one is fish waste. The potential pollution also happen in a fish auction. And equality distribution here also exists among the fisher for small scaler and also for the large scaler, among the large scaler as well. So we identified 1, 2, 3, 4 until 10. So this is the externalities from the blue growth of fish auction. Whereas the positive externalities here from the fish auction, we identified several things as well. So we have a 10 here. We follow Bennett as our main source. That identification for the blue justice and injustice already found by Bennett, and then we try to adopt and modify it accordingly. Then the second one is the blue growth, because we have two mushroom here, the blue growth from fish auction as well as from capture fisheries. And we explain here the one by one. And the second one is from the capture fisheries. Then now the question is how is the policy framework? And then we derive the policy framework based on the fact of injustice phenomena identified with the 10 items. and also the blue justice with the externalities positive, also 10 items. But this may not necessarily 10, but we just identified number 10. And the strategy here also specific based on the problem encounter for the classification of injustice. One of them is there is necessary, urgent, transparent, and also digitally in a fish auction system. Because with the online and digital, people will more compliant and cannot avoid for the illegal activities or cheating. So this is one of the strategy we propose to the government as well as to the fisher union. And then the other positive externalities, we propose here to strengthen the ecosystem-based fisheries governance, to establish the fishing zone restriction and so on. In short, that we encourage for the sustainable fisheries, and of course with the enforcement and compliance. Then to empower the fisher cooperative in order to give a spread out for the welfare to the community. Well, that is for a party. And then I will explain from Demak side how is the blue economy, blue growth, and blue justice happen in Demak Regency. We have here the map, this identified recognition survey with the SNESI map. The SNESI map also contributed by Murray Lister, who last time 3 months stay in Demak, and we work together to finish up his thesis, but now he is already graduated, and his defense examination on 5 April 2025, just a couple weeks ago. This is also, we select the two growth. The blue economy we identified here, several blue economy, the activities utilized by the resources from the fisheries and also ocean here. Among others are small scale fisher here. We have fisheries here in Tambak Bulusan, Demak Regency, which is the same place of Murai thesis here. But we explore further regarding with the blue growth, blue economy, blue growth, and blue justice. So we select here small scale fisheries as a point of a blue economic, and then pond aquaculture, which is symbolic with the fish here. My cursor moving here, yeah. And then fish processing somewhere here. And this fish processing from small scaler usually produce for the salted fish and smoked fish. And also marine and mangrove tourism here. So the promotion for this Tambak Bulusan Demak is for the mangrove tourism. This is why there is plus minus externalities, positive and negative, because people here do reclamation, and also here cutting the mangrove and so on. Of course, now under supervisory of Undip as the university, together with the local people there, and also the Department of Fisheries and Forestry. We work together and to build up the sustainable tourism for mangrove in Tambak Bulusan. Now we decide the blue growth in Demak. We have two blue growth identified. that are mangrove tourism and also pond aquaculture. So we have two of these blue growth with the consequence of blue justice and blue injustice. So while we identified for the 10 point, this is just only adopt in Nathan, as well as we just identified up to the top 10. And the injustice, among others, are potential resident for here nearby the tourism. Of course, there is reclamation, and sometimes this is also worsened whenever there is a high tide. So the high tide, of course, here become worsened, because now the high tide is not only in a natural way, but due to in a certain area of Java with the national project. So there is a development in the other side. This is why now the stream of the sea water become inundated to the other portion. So unfortunate, Demak is one of the worsened area, and also Semarang also effect for that situation. We have a high tide in Semarang because Semarang and Demak is very close, just a neighbor. This is why this is become not only for the regional problem, but now the issue become national issues. So this is one of the injustice because of the problem of reclamation in a mangrove, which is, of course, in a positive way. This give a benefit to the people, because tourists, many tourists coming to this Tambak Bulusan in Demak to see the mangrove, because very close to Semarang, sometimes during the weekend and the holiday. But it's not only the tourists, regular tourists, but we have also the edu trip education for the high school, and also sometimes elementary school, and high degree level as well, as say for the topic of project paper and thesis, as well as dissertation. So that are the situation of blue growth in Demak. And then we come up to the certain framework policy also for the specific for marine and mangrove tourism. We need to strengthen the governance because we have to make it the area sustainable. So of course, here the illegal practice for the fisher, as well as for the others in a pond aquaculture with the using say sometimes people using electricity and the others poison as well available there. This make it people the local people suffer for that situation. All right. So how is the transition blue economic to sustainability in a respected area in a party and as well as in the map? So I will explain to this through this picture. Prof. Pratip, if the time is already run, please remind me. I can stop whenever you remind me. This is the situation. So let me explain the characteristic in a party. We have identified large scale. We have a four option. So the first option here, the situation is a large scale and a small scale. They are for the small scaler is just nearby the coastal area, whereas the large scaler here in Pati, they go up to nearby Papua and out of the island. So it's very far, usually using a person and longliner, which is sometimes one up to until 3 months. However, for the small scaler, they fish a 1 day trip only. So, of course, the destination of a fish find the fish area, fish ground are different. But whenever the situation of the resource in a normal condition for the large scale or in a small scale, and then with the introduction of ICT, then we'll come to the sustainable situation. So the catch is sustainable, and also the catch for the small scaler also here quite a number sustainable. So people are viable in terms of for the take home pay. However, the situation might different whenever this is the resources from the large scale in a normal condition, the resources. So ICT, no problem. However, most of situation here, the small scaler in Demak almost overexploited the resources. Therefore, this such situation, sorry, in a party, the such situation for the small scaler with introducing ICT become not sustainable for their income. So because the resource are overexploited, because they fish in the same area among the small scaler, because they usually the small scaler like using the similar gears and also similar type and similar well activities habit. So that is the situation sometimes happen in a condition scenario number 2. And we have another scenario number 3. We identified in a field. So the situation is sometimes the large scaler found overexploited resource. And also at the same time, the small scaler also have a overexploited resource when they are fishing. And for the both situation, the ICT introduction will cause become not sustainable for large scale or small scaler. And the most worsen one happened in option number 4. So the scenario number 4 describe whenever the situation of large scaler found the effort overexploited resources condition, and the small scaler also face overexploited condition. However, whenever the large scaler return to the Juana River to their resident, at the same time, the large scaler also took the fish along the way going home. So this actually the fishing ground should be in a right utilization in a right of a small scaler. However, the large scaler, because they not found enough fish, and then they use well certain fishing gear and then encroach, and that's happen worsen the situation. This is the most severe condition whenever the ICT introduced with the situation of overexploited in all target of a large scale or small scaler. Well, that's Pati, which is we have two type of fisher, small scaler and large scaler at the same times. This is why this situation need partnership and understanding between large scale and small scaler. Now the situation comes different whenever we have in the map. In the all the fisher are small scalers. So this is quite homogeneous. And the problem now become a little bit simple whenever the normal resource condition. So with ICT, of course, it will give a sustainable catch and take home pay will be better for the future. However, the scenario number 2, we identified the situation whenever the small scaler, among the small scaler, comes to the overexploited resource condition. So the ICT, this is become, make it the small scaler more vulnerable. So this is the situation. Anyway, the both situation are happen until today. So this is why we have to prescribe with the suitable policy action. That's the situation related with the condition of blue economic, blue growth, and blue justice. So now we're talking about the strategy, the pathway toward the blue justice. So I like to introduce the local wisdom as one of the approach to improve that situation. And also, of course, the ICT is important, but we have to design whenever level of technology as well as, the practice to the small or large scaler subject to the situation of the resources. Of course, here, tradition practice which is a subsistence for the small scaler. But sometimes this is still necessary to be implemented for the situation whenever to get a survival. So this is the resume, the transition from vulnerable to viable in Pati and Demak, subject to the ICT introduction. So in Pati, relatively smooth transition from vulnerable to viable because in Pati mostly majority are large scaler. So they have fishing ground different and also their capital for the boat and so on is competitive. They can go out of the Java Sea and maybe until Papua and also the others area. So the community structure is diverse because in Pati we have both large and small scaler, but of course because they are in in a Pati fisheries are already long time ago a job for the fisher. This is why the small scaler and large scaler sometimes has a relationship of family. So one and each others sometimes they have collaboration, and this one is not competitive, not competitor because they different scale. But sometimes the large scaler give a benefit to the small scaler and help, especially in introducing ICT. Sometimes they give a lesson and also give best practice to their family as a small scaler. So strong kinship and partnership ties foster the cooperation. And also here might different with the Demak region because Demak is more homogeneous in a community. Most of them are small scaler. Therefore, each other they are compete. So usually they use the similar technology because people, especially for the small scaler in Indonesia, they like working imitate with the neighbor. So what is the neighbor use, and then ICT transfer and so on will be almost similar. This is why they come to the certain similar fishing ground. So that happen whenever they come to the similar fishing ground, which is already overexploited. So this is a greater sense of injustice during the transition process was identified in Demak. We have a strategy that we are going to propose now. Perhaps using reviving the local wisdom for the blue justice and sustainability may help people, especially here in Demak, as the homogeneous small scalers. So one among others are resource management here, prohibition for the certain fishing gear, area and season. This is necessary. This is in line with the conservation principle, which is the government as well as the academician already encourage and apply this resource management. And we have also to empower people with their own capacity, local wisdom, and social capital. This is to strengthen the collectiveness of compliance and reduce the conflict. And I like also to elaborate do action by employing prioritized SDG target. Here I can show you that the most important one is in number 17, which is the partnership. So in implication, co-management among the stakeholders to achieve the certain target, to have the smooth transition from the vulnerable to viable is necessary for the partnership, especially for the among the small scaler. And also we have lesson learned from Pati. The large scaler and small scaler are mostly they are having a good transition, especially with the family relationship. They give a good partnership in ICT application. And also number five is gender equality. So this is usually the women are not enough for the empowerment. So we need to give empowerment program in order to help for the household income. So this is the most important one is number 17, number 5, and also 12, responsible consumption and production. Because as of now, the production, especially for the small scaler, sometimes using poison and then electricity, and the other tool, which is actually is not recommended for sustainable fisheries. And the consumption, most of the small scale household, they consume only sometimes trash fish, and because the economic fish will be sold to get money. So the consumption for their domestic one only for the raised fresh one. So this is also need encouragement because nutrition for the children and also family also need to be enhanced. Well, the other one is no poverty, SDGs number 1, and also decent work and economic growth, SDGs number 8, and also, of course, SDGs number 14, life below water, to maintain the sustainable resource. Thank you very much for listening my talk. Hope I have get many insight and comment from all of you, and especially to improve my research together with our early career researcher and also student in Universitas Diponegoro. So once again, special thanks to the V2V Global Partnership Project chaired by Professor Pratip Nayak, and also to my employer, Universitas Diponegoro. Thank you very much. And I return the time to Professor Pratip. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Inda. That was really informative, and lots of empirical data in terms of understanding transitions to blue justice. Which is really in literature and and in policy, it is less understood. So there's a lot of directions that is emerging from the work that you and our early career colleagues have done in the Demak and Pati regencies of Indonesia. So we have roughly about 10 minutes or so for questions and answers. I would now invite Hapsari, Ika, and Aini to, if you can switch on your video and join us, because the talk definitely connects and draws from the research that you have been doing under the mentorship of Dr. Susilovati. So if you can come on video, and where necessary, if you can also respond to some of the questions along with Inda. So we have a question or two already from our audience. So the first one is from Nabya. And Navya says, great information and presentation, Dr. Inda. How do you distinguish between blue growth and blue justice in practical terms? So blue growth and blue justice, linkages, and how do you differentiate or establish the linkages? In your view, can these paradigms ever be at odds? Can they be in conflict with each other? And how can tensions between economic growth and social equity be mediated? So two parts of the question. One is, how do you see the linkages between blue growth and blue justice? And then how do you, see the linkages also between blue growth, blue justice in the real sense? Can you achieve both?
Okay. Yes, thank you, Navya. So high appreciation for Navya. We used to work together with Navya, and your question is quite interesting here. How we distinguish between blue growth and blue justice. So, well, actually, I just try to identify and also learn from several reference, and then we come up to the step and action how to identify the blue growth. So the blue growth, whenever we have activity in a blue economics, so say like in the blue economics mostly come from the mangrove tourism. So the blue economic happen, and we have identified people there, fisher as well as local one, and also the others parties, and then earn something from the activities of blue in term of here in the case of for the mangrove recreation. So the mangrove recreation, especially in a weekend, so we come many people there, and then of course this will give a job to the both operator, and also along the mangrove tourism, we have also say people are swimming and also playing, children, and having a snack, lunch, and so on. So renting for the say pet and so on. So everyone earns something that we identified as economic benefit. And this area become, have a spread out for the benefit to the others people. And this multiplier effect, and then we identified as a growth. And the growth from time to time, of course, before COVID, is very amazing, the growth. But after COVID, and now it's become recovery, and then we call this is growth. Whenever we have growth, so there is an implication for externalities of negative and positive. This is why we coincide the growth with negative and positive, coincide with the concept of justice. Well, actually, it's not apple to apple, but well, analogically, we can call this is with the justice and injustice. People who not benefited and have a negative impact, we call that is injustice. This is actually it's not apple to apple, but in a simple way, at this moment, we come up to that situation. This is why this is we call as a blue justice. Nathan, in his paper, we follow identification of blue growth toward the blue justice and injustice, how is the transition, and we follow and adopt accordingly. And then we come up to the identification of the 10 point of each of the blue justice and injustice in our respective area. Then the second question, how is who is a mediator? So of course the mediator at this moment is the academician. Academician, who is the academician? University nearby. In this case, for the Ma is Universitas Diponegoro. And I ask help from V2V, Global Partnership Project. This is why we taking benefit from V2V project, and then to give say recommendation and also advocation, as well as to make it them happy, and also not insecure. Sometimes we visit regularly. Last time with the present of Murai, everybody are happy there, because at least there is people who take care, who can give advice and so on. And also my student, many of master as well as a PhD, and also the undergrad, I send it to the Ma as well as to Pati. So this will be say this is the open road for mediating people from that situation or situation of injustice. That's my answer, Navya, at this moment. But if you don't have, well, it's not clear, then you come to Demak and Pati. I will show you up there. Thank you.
No, we're not allowing anyone to go to Indonesia. I'm kidding. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the detailed answer. Hapsari, Ika, and Aini, whenever you have to add anything, please jump in and then please add, to the answers. So there's another question from Faluke Ariola, Nigeria, and Faluke is saying, "God bless. Thank you for a very nice presentation. How was the situation in the describe uh, in the case of market injustice? Was it resolved eventually, and what is being done to address this? You talked about the market injustice, how market influences injustice or justice, and what is currently being done in that.
Okay.
Okay,
So
if you can keep it brief, then I have a few more questions from people
okay.
that I can
So
ask.
I will keep it. Yes.
Yeah.
Or I answer in brief, so we can proceed. The market, the market injustice, like what I said, the role of middleman. So the role of middleman is really influence and seems cannot be secure or get rid out because this is already long time ago, especially for the small scaler. So this make it injustice for the small scaler, especially because they took the right of a part of the rent from the small scaler because they have a very strong position for the middleman. So that is a market injustice. How to justice it, and then this is why now we introduce for the digital auction system. So this is to alleviate, cannot be reduced totally, but alleviate that situation. So bring the right back to the small scaler from the middleman.
Okay.
That's a brief answer.
Yeah. Then there is one question from Derek Armitage. Dear Inda, thank you for the very comprehensive summary of the cases. Always wonderful to hear about the research your team is doing. There are some really interesting initiatives and strategies emerging in the different areas. And he has two questions for you, Inda and team. How can you scale up these case-based insights to inform governance for blue justice in Indonesia, but more generally for wider impact globally? So you were talking about two case studies. How can you scale up not only to Indonesia, but also globally? For example, other B2B countries. And then the second part of that question is the national policy context in Indonesia ready to support these types of local strategies to improve blue economy and blue justice efforts? What is happening in terms of policy response in Indonesia to the kinds of things
Okay.
that you're finding in your case studies?
Okay. So should I answer Derek question?
Yeah,
Okay. Thank
both
you
are
very
Derek's
much.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Derek, for your appreciation and also concern. So I like to answer. Hopefully, will be clear enough, but otherwise, we can talk later. This is my experiment. So our experiment in the case of in the case of Indonesia. I mean that because we have a specific problem, specific characters of a fisher, and also specific resources. So if we we going to scale off to other countries out of Indonesian, I think subject to the certain condition. So we make this outlining for the proposed policy brief based on the characteristic of one is resources, second is people, and also the political situation and policy in a national level. So if we try to scale off to out of Indonesia, so of course for the principle will be maintained okay, but the three characteristic subject to the which countries, because scale off is not exactly apple to apple, depend on the characteristic of the fisher itself as a people, a community, and then the resources type, as well as the national and political situation. So that is the first answer for your question, Derek. For the national policy concept, yes. No, they already set a beautiful concept, but that is subject to the reality. Now, frankly speaking, at this moment, the government of Indonesia still busy with their political matters. This is why for the grassroots problem, like what I said, I explained in Pati and Demak and so on. So who is handle it? So the most party who handle this thing is the academician, researcher, because the government, of course, they are their task actually, but they are busy with the political problem. They're still bargaining for the position of the chair. So that is the situation in Indonesia, because this is not more than still less than 1 year. The new president sit in the cabinet, so everything still in many need adjustment. That situation, perhaps if already adjusted, maybe 1 or 2 years, then the national concept that already introduced and already campaign will be, of course, there is a realization. But at this transition, it's not only the fisher transition from vulnerable to viable, but the government of Indonesia is still in a transition as well from the vulnerable thing. That is the situation, Derek. Thank you.
Yeah, that is very interesting, because we talk about, transitions to justice, but there are multiple externalities which can, expose themselves as transitions as well. So how these different types of transitions, interact and intersect may be very influential in how blue justice can be achieved or not. So you're talking about how blue justice transition in this, case study regions are intersecting or interacting with governance transitions that is taking place at the country level itself. Thank you, Inda. So I will take the last two questions which I will ask, and if you can be brief, then we'll bring it to an end after that. So the next question is Sahriar Nuzrul Rimon. Excellent presentation, Professor Inda. In the context of my work with marine area-based conservation tools, I'm curious about the integration of marine spatial planning within the framework of Pati. As well as Indonesia more broadly, how do you perceive the alignment of marine spatial planning with the concepts of blue economy and blue growth and blue justice? Okay. And then there is a follow-up question from Faluke Ariola, who's saying, what about setting up market stalls and linkages to link the small-scale fishers directly to the blue economy markets? So linking, more linking of small-scale fisheries fishers with formal market systems and other things. Okay, so if you can be please brief, we'll end on time.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for Masur Rimon for your appreciation, also question. So marine spatial planning in Indonesia, we follow for the concept of sustainable fisheries. Sustainable fisheries with advocating in empowerment for the small scaler. That is the a big title of the policy government of Indonesia. However, the situation in implementation may not simultaneously for all a region. So depend on which the island prioritize. Since Java is the most populated one, and also Java play a significant role for as a place for the central government, and also as the destination for the people, and also as the most big consumer of the people. This is why the marine spatial planning for Java is to be given more priority by the government itself. However, it's not easy as we design for the policy, because subject to when we design something, so of course we rely on the assumption. The assumption is compliant. The compliance of stakeholders from academician, government, business, and community itself to follow the assumption of a set up of the policy, a marine spatial planning. But of course, we handle almost in Java is 158 million people. So, and also with the different tribe, as well as migrants so high. This is why sometimes we cannot complete the compliance. This is thereafter the consequent cannot we don't have a complete compliance. As a consequence is the practice of the marine policy or spatial planning and so on is not complete. So that situation happen whenever the most populated, like India and perhaps the other countries, which is with a high densely populated, with the competitiveness of a resource and so on. So of course the marine spatial planning are there, but perhaps for the successful in application will be low. That situation happened in Indonesia. Okay, so this is for Sharizal Nasrul Rimon, and for the linking market between small and large scale, if I perceive correctly the question. So this is depend on who is intermediation. So I think the stakeholders who able to play a significant role is the independent party. Who is the independent party? That's academician and also say NGO. But of course, it's not all NGO and not all of academician have sufficient in knowledge as well as in commitment. Nevertheless, that situation will be depend on the who is our role. I put myself as an academician, so as a researcher. So we start from the ourselves as an academician. We try to help them. So make it ourselves as an intermediate between linkage in a market, maybe for the small and large scale, large and small scalers of fisher. So perhaps that situation will help at least to reduce the problem of the inequality, injustice to be better.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Inda, Hapsari, Ika, and Aini, for your very interesting and very meaningful work, and for taking the time to present at the V2B thematic webinar series. Definitely, these discussions are going to continue because the video is going to be on the YouTube, and a lot of people come back and watch it and then send you questions. So we mean to continue this discussion on this very important topic of blue growth, blue justice, and blue economy, and policy making, governance, viability, and many other things related to it. But in the interest of time, I must bring this to an end. Also, thank you very much to the audience for those interesting questions and also sticking to us even if we are running over time a little bit today. So we invite you to the next webinar next month on the 27th of June, which is the last Friday. And the information would be available on www.b2bglobalpartnership.org. So see you there, and thank you once again, Inda, and your wonderful team. Thank you. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Pratip, and also Maha and the other colleague here. Because I cannot see the audience since in a Zoom only limited. To those audience who follow from YouTube, thank you very much for your appreciation and joining us for the tonight time of Jakarta time, and hopefully we can see each other and we can collaborate with positive thing to advocate the small scale especially and sustainable fisheries. Thank you, Prof. Pratip, the Director of Global Partnership of V2V, and also all here, and my co-author as well, Hapsari, Aini, and Ika. Maha, Farosa, thank you very much. Navia, Ruyel, and the others, so great. Direct, we will see you again. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.